Oh boy, it is Friday the 31st, October 31st, and I woke up approximately, I don't know, 4 hours ago or more. 9 something, 8 something. I can't remember. It's been a long time. That's all I know. And that's cool because I spent that time in meditation. I spent that time mentally, you know, um, being in my I am status. I spent that time marinating in my premonition. I spent that time um, acknowledging I was viewing things from a point of view, from my point of view. I also was shown a different way of um, in the cosmos. It was in the cosmos, and it kind of opened up so I could see stuff, but it was there, but it wasn't there. I was there, but I wasn't there. It's kind of like when we're watching movies and stuff, and you're transitioning, and it's trying to explain something to you, that you're seeing something through a different lens, through a different viewpoint, through a different reality, like 5D versus 4D, versus opening my eyes and seeing it like this. It was pretty awesome. Anyway, I'm just really grateful, really grateful for today, because I know that even though I wake up and I look around and everything kind of looks the same, it's not the same. Things are different. Things are different. You got to pay attention not just to your immediate surroundings. Pay attention to what shows up on your For You, what shows up in your news feed, what shows up crossing your, in front of you on your phone, especially if you're scrolling, because you're talking to you that way. Your higher self is talking to you. Your universe is talking to you, letting you know that things have changed. Things have changed. You've come into wealth, because you're going to start seeing things about travel, especially if you want to travel. You'll see things about travel. You'll see things about how people, things will come up naturally about luxury travel, if you're interested in that or experiencing that. Or things will come up about, traveling business class, first class on, these big airplanes and stuff. Or traveling on a private jet, whatever. Just pay attention to what comes up, and you'll see that that's your first clue that you've woken up into your new reality. So things around me don't look like they have changed, but things in my phone definitely have changed. More different opportunities, different content creators, flirty content creators, more positive message, more I love yous, the universe is talking to me through that, letting me know that I am loved, that I am cherished and stuff. That's not just random shit. That's like legit. That's, and not only is it that the universe, that is actually somebody that is sending that to me, and it's not necessarily me, right? So when you get that, just know that. Know that for yourself, especially all the, how your news feed, how your For You page, how your Explore page, how whatever it is that you're coming across, notice the change. And then that gives you an indication of like who's sending the information, what has changed, what you should be expecting, what the universe is lining up for you. And then it's up to you whether you accept it or dismiss it, or right, like however you respond to it, that's going to let the universe know whether to give you more of that and to continue on with what you've manifested, or if you're pivoting and you're moving either to a different focus or back to your old focus. And so that way you can, because I'm telling you about this, you can make conscious decisions out of, I always want people to make conscious decisions knowing what's best for them and where they want to do what they want to do, as opposed to just making decisions blindly because, I say you should do this or the government says you should do this, kind of like with the whole, all that jazz. A lot of us knew, like, that's not fucking right, especially if you're going to be offering up a bunch of free stuff to get people to go do it, free hamburger, free beers, money, gift cards and stuff like that. Clearly, it's not good for them. You got to entice them. And so people knew about that, but then other people didn't know and weren't paying attention. And so they went ahead and went down that road and then figured out that it was wrong. And then, there's a lot that are like, oh, I don't want this. And then never went back for more, or maybe they stopped after 2 or whatever, and have been doing everything they can to clean up their system and everything. And you can do that. You totally can do that. Especially when you realize that, wait a minute, I was shown, and then I was distracted and led down away from my focus. And you go back to focusing and go back. Any health steps that you take to improve yourself, improve your life, is always compounded. It never goes away. Even if you stop, you get distracted or whatever, and you take a pause and you're not doing your, your health routine, it doesn't just fall back into disarray and, back into that bullshit. No, it doesn't. No. You've done a lot of cleaning and everything, and you've shown your body support and love, and the body knows that. The body knows, your universe knows, that you're doing what you can. And maybe you've just needed to take a breather because all this is overwhelming, because it does get tiring when you're starting these new pathways. It's like I've explained it years ago, especially when I was cleaning up my thoughts and everything, and being more conscious of what was naturally coming through about people. They weren't all my thoughts. It was just mean things being projected into me, and I didn't dismiss it and I didn't call them out. But when you start doing that, it cleans up your thoughts, and then then a natural block comes up and you don't think those thoughts because you're not in resonance. You're not that I was in resonance with it. I was just open, right? I didn't really mean to think mean and hurtful thoughts about other people. So I would be like, where the fuck is this coming from? No, I don't think so. Nope. And I would just shut that shit down. And when you do that, that helps to change. That's also changing your resonance of what you're putting out and what you're allowing in, because you're not allowing that bullshit in. So, or you're catching it after it comes right in, you're catching it and you're sweeping it right back out. No, or closing it down or whatever. You can just simply say in your thoughts, I rebuke. This is not my thoughts. This bullshit. This is not mine. And I always do this with the closing it and collapsing, and then throwing it away. So I do that a lot. So the reason I'm sharing this with you is because every every single action that you take to make yourself better, to find peace, to put out love, to not attach to, ill thoughts, even just low vibrational thoughts or whatever. Not that you would do anything wicked or evil towards anybody, but just thinking, like, ugh, fat butt, and then with the energy, I mean, you could go like, ooh, fat butt, and like be like happy energy, like, yeah, and that's cool, because that sends, that pulls up, it makes you feel good. And so because you're appreciating somebody's fat butt, because it might be nice and roundy and bubbly, then that puts out good energy. But if you're doing, and doing it in a negative way, but you don't really mean to, because they're not your thoughts, but you're open. And in the past, you may have had those thoughts, or in the past, you may have allowed those thoughts, or you've been around people who think and speak like that around you. So that energy is, attracting that, but it's not necessarily you. So what you have to do, what I had to do, and it's exhausting. In the beginning, it's exhausting. Now, it's like no issue, because I have no issue. You have to, it's like you're chopping through, making a trail in the Amazon with a machete. So at least you have a machete, and machetes are pretty good, to cut through and everything. I was lucky enough because I have a machete in my cultural history, with the Filipino side of me. I don't know what we had, on the black, or, yeah, indigenous, African, well, I wouldn't say we're African, I'd say black, the original, or whatever. I know what I mean. Anyway, maybe it had a big knife, maybe it just had spears, I have no idea, but I know definitely a machete for the Filipinos, so that was why it felt like that. And then it just felt like I was constantly cutting through these this jungle up in here to get through to a hidden city, a hidden utopia, a hidden gem, a hidden treasure, a hidden, Eden, I guess, And so I would have to cure my thoughts all day, every day, and this actually lasted for a few years. It was pretty intense when I first started, and I would go to bed mentally tired, exhausted, because I was catching, like a lot of them throughout the day. And I'd be like, what the fuck? Why am I thinking that about my friend? Why am I thinking that about, why would I do that? Because that wasn't me. And I would be annoyed, but now I'm not annoyed. And now I realize it's not me. It's what was being pumped out. It's why all the stations, radio stations and Wi-Fi stations and whatever kind of stations that pump out that bullshit, was being used against us. And you just got to be on top of it. That's all. You just got to be on top of it, aware of it and everything. So once you're aware, especially that those thoughts aren't yours, then you can be aware of the thoughts that are yours, or the thoughts that are speaking to you, or the messages that are for you. And if somebody can put in messages that are not yours, then somebody else can put in messages that are for you. And the way they do that is they improve your scrolling, what you're naturally scrolling and what you're coming across. Are you coming across, food fusions, really good content creators that are, telling you where to eat, and you're like, ooh, I'd like to try that. I'd like to do that. Making you, that's you telling you, hey, that's the God spark within you saying, yeah, let's do this. I want to experience this with your taste buds, with your smile, with your eyes. I want to hear your laughter. I want to animate your hand picking up that fork. I want to animate your body stepping into the pool. I want to experience all this that I'm bringing to you, that I'm, putting up for your heart's desires, or that you have created for you. And then these are some things that also kind of are similar in experiences that I want to do through you. That's what God is saying to you. That's what your higher self, confirmation, is saying to you. I want to experience this stuff with you. Like right now, I'm in the mode of healing myself and finding myself so I can be true to myself and find the love that, not that I'm worthy of, but the love that is worthy of me. Oh, wow. And this comes up, I'm tearful because something came up last night that I figured out about. I thought I had gotten to the root. I thought I had gotten to the seed, but last night I got to the seed of all that is me, Chi, in my beginnings, like sperm and egg beginnings, and I could tap into that. And I could see why people, why my family, at least I could see in this storyline, why all this has happened to me. It doesn't make it right, and I'm not forgiving it, but I get it. And I can move past it, and soon I'll be able to talk about it without crying. But the tears come not because I'm sad about, my beginnings. And I'm talking like, not just, I'm talking about my physical beginning in this realm, from an egg to a fertilized egg to splitting the first cell and then continuing and then all that. And then when I was found out to have been made, and how that might have changed the dynamics in my family's household. It might have been too soon, and the pregnancy of my mom might have caused a lot of not support from family. It's too soon, could have caused a lot of anger with my parents, and then that would have caused a lot of disruption and anger and yelling and stuff around my sister, who before that probably lived a pretty happy life as a single baby, and then everything changed, and then to make the connection that it was me, and that was the change, because I arrived, and maybe I wasn't planned or something. I have no idea. I don't know. All I know is something came to me last night. I could see it. I could see it all laid out, and I could see the connection of it all, and I get it. I get it, but I still wouldn't have done anything hateful. You know what I'm saying? That was still a choice to do something hateful and evil towards me because of you know, whatever. So, like, that's going fucking deep. I mean, you never know. Like, this was back in 1971 is when I was born, December of 71. So that whole year that I was being made, you know. Yeah, it just, and, yeah, I cried a lot about it last night and stuff, having this realization. It was, whew, that was not a good one, but it was fucking deep. Now, whether that is my true story or not, it is what came to me, and it's not anything that I put any thought to. It's just kind of like ballooned out. So that's how you know that that's most likely, well, that it is real, that it's not your imagination, because I didn't spend time thinking this up. I didn't spend time trying to write it up and then rewrite it and tweak it, you know, like you would like a story and stuff. This is what just blah just came out and stuff. So, but the biggest takeaway from this, if I even decide to post this at all, the biggest takeaway would be is that your universe, in my case, my Michiverse, is talking to me at all times. I realize I'm in game mode at all times. Even if I don't acknowledge I'm in game mode, I know I'm in game mode at all times. So nothing gets by me. I'm conscious about the actions I take. So as far as this whole rat race, you know, betting on what I'm going to do and how I'm going to do it and stuff like that, they can't bet, they can't, you know, it's all about gambling and bullshit. That all that's done and over with. They're not making any money on me. I've claimed everything. They can't make any money on me. They have nothing. They've bound everything. They're bound. You know, I'm not bound. Oh, it's 2232. 2233. Love it. I love when the universe talks to me through divine numbers. So 2233 definitely is that message on its own. And then also when you combine the 2s and 3s, of course, it makes for the 55. Also change. Definite change, you know. So yeah, I mean, everything is talking. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with myself, because these videos also help me to remember, you know, if I'm not in a feeling state and I have to go from a knowing state, then these videos help me to remember. And then just to wait it out and not panic and just stay chill, and then know that my knowing state is gonna come right around. It always comes around. I don't always have to do anything to get into a knowing state. It just naturally comes back around and stuff. And yeah. So I have yeah, I've shared that because that was a big aha epiphany when I figured that out. that even though I don't see the changes, and then when I, you know, go with whatever's I'm seeing, and not really looking at the details. It's in the details. It's in the new videos. It's in the new influences. It's in the luxury travel videos. It's in the luxury food videos. It's in the luxury hotel videos. It's in, you know, renting a catamaran, you know, few $1 million catamaran for me and my family, or me and my friends, in Greece or something like that. It's in things like that that I realize, yeah, things really have changed for me. That's how I know. That's how I know. The fact that bigger changes are going to come into my 3D so I know it is also happening, because I also put out that I'm ready to heal my body and take steps, and I invested in it. And so I've gotten my vibration plate, I've got my new oils, I've gotten I started doing Primal Queen and everything, and I feel better with that. And the things that I've wanted to take the steps to get better. I'm also doing this one. I enjoy this one too. H2 tab. I enjoy that a lot, actually. And yeah, I just it's when you see those things that so that way there's no slipping back, there's no whatever. And then that is what's if you've never walked up a ramp, like a boat ramp, in Ketchikan, and I'm sure they're like this everywhere, but in Ketchikan we have such deep tide swings and stuff that if you're walking up a boat ramp, they actually have these little cleats that are put in there and stuff. So these little things are like the cleats. So your videos, you've called in wealth and a new life to come to you and everything, but you're waking up and and you think you're still in your same area, but things have changed. I tell you, things have pixelated. When you speak, it goes out into the ethers, and it starts pixelating. If you speak or you project with emotion, like you're so grateful for it that it pulls up emotion, you cry, you laugh, you yell, you sing, whatever, you put some kind of big expressive emotion, it really, really kicks in and stuff. And so it's the little subtle somebody's trying to keep me from talking. I always speak the truth. I always speak the truth. I always speak the truth. Look at that. Putting that right up. I only speak the truth. I only know the truth. I only create truth. I only know truth. This feels so good. Oh, love it, love it, love it, love it. Oh my God, yes. Hygienically clean, hygienic, spiritually hygienic. Anyway, if you are aware, then you will notice those subtle things, and they are acting as cleats to keep you on the boat ramp and keep you from falling and moving forward as you move up that boat ramp, because maybe it got really steep now, but those cleats are what are keeping you from sliding back. So trust in those. Trust in that, that you're able to keep moving forward, even if, or just stop until the tide rises again, so that you can just walk without having to put so much effort. Just walk, Like I said, in Ketchikan, the tides are pretty drastic. Could be like 15, 20 feet, right? And stuff. So you want to go when it's high tide, because then you're just walking level and everything, as opposed to going when it's low tide and stuff. So there's that. So So I'm glad I'm able to share that, because it's a realization that I had. So that's a good one. And that's a good one to share. That's a good one to know. And then also the fact that in my marinative state, I was able to see myself um, sitting by the pool, with music playing, and or being in the pool and just doing little movements, knowing that I was exercising my body with awesome resistance, but not resistance that hurt, but resistance that's a healing and loving support that you get from water, you know, pool water. Of course, I'll have to get it switched over so that it's healthy pool water. So, and they have those things, so I'm not, there isn't anything to worry about that. It can be done, so I just know that it'll get done. That's all. That's it. So, yeah. And then also the other thing that I'm triggered to share with you is also because I figured out my beginnings. Then I know at least the first beginnings was good, probably till it was realized that my mom was pregnant again, and so quickly. And then that's when whatever was put on her, feelings of disappointment or negativity or even joy, could have been joy, been put on her, but she would have gone through a bunch of different emotions and stuff, being, that she had, because my sister and I are only like 2 months apart, because I was a full-term baby. So, right? And Krista being born in December, so that would have been December, and then January, February. So around somewhere in February, she would have gotten pregnant again, maybe end of January, February, beginning of February. And then from that beginning, February, March, April. So it could be March or April that she would have gotten first notification that she was expecting and stuff. And then that's when I started marinating, for being created in that environment. Whatever was happening to her was also happening to me, and then whatever she was feeling, I would have been feeling, and that would have been my start. So, but it's all good. I'm not upset about it. I realize it, and I cried about it, not out of sadness, but more out of relief that I know what it is. And yeah, the betrayal, and the disappointment and stuff like that. Yeah. Uh, but it just goes to show, how even at that time I was, if God knew that I was there before I was even born, that means that maybe it wasn't just God that knew that I was there. I don't know what that is. Huh. Maybe it wasn't just God that knew I was there, and then that's why I was, like maybe my mom was messed with, and somebody may have said some horrible things or done some, interesting. done some real yucky stuff towards her or something, with while I was being carried in her. Don't know. I mean, these are all just, so I'm probably right. I mean, if it's coming out my mouth and it's coming to me now, and I'm not trying to like create anything, I'm just saying what comes to me, and that could be that's all, that's what transpired, and I'm able to tap into it, which means that you would be able to tap into your very, very beginnings, because your consciousness, you chose to be here, you chose your parents, you chose the timing and everything, and then and I knew I'd be supported by God, but I didn't realize, like, maybe because of my naivety, I can't say that word. I always mess it up. Anyway, it's like, I'm not really good with size and, trying to, how big things are and stuff. So with that, then that means that if somebody would have said, they're going to wipe your memory, like, oh yeah, okay, cool. But eventually you'll remember. But I'd be like holding on to that. Well, eventually I'll remember, not realizing that they would have fucking scrubbed so that I wouldn't remember anything. And it's just by the fact that I knew on some level that I would remember. And so of course I woke up when I needed to wake up, and I had said it for myself, set it and forget it. That rotisserie. Yeah. So there's that. Anyway, just know it's been 37 minutes. Oh my goodness, wow. Just know and trust the process. When these things, these ideas, these thoughts, these things come up, and not only do they come up in your mind's eye where you can actually see it and feel it and feel into it, it'll also trigger an emotion in for you. So that's how you know that it's real. It happened. You're over target. You've really tapped into the seed of whatever it is, and then you can, with that seed, you can unplant it and get rid of it. And for me, the seed of unworthiness, of not being wanted, the seed of all that negativity and all that stuff that would have probably come up during that time, because that was a different time than it is now. Now people will be like, yeah, everything's going to be okay, we're going to make it work, blah blah blah, babies are blessings and stuff like that, and stuff. It's more of that, because back in that day, if a cow or a dog or a kitten or something, some kind of animal was born not perfect, they would have been put down, and that was a different time and stuff. And whereas nowadays, they're helped to thrive and just live their best life, whatever. If they got two heads, they got two heads, or an extra leg, or whatever, or they're blind or whatever. People are not just putting down animals just because of superficial disabilities or whatever. Maybe they're not superficial, maybe that is a major thing, and stuff, but in the grand scheme of things, as far as like the creator's concerned, it's superficial, right? But to matter and physical humans and the 3D walking around, then yeah, it's more than superficial. It's kind of a major thing and stuff, but still, thought process, mindsets have changed. It's more empathetic, more compassionate, more loving, more we can figure this out, more, like that. So that's good. So yeah, if there's anything that you're going to take away from this, take away the fact that you put out what you want to manifest based on the things that, the God spark within you, the God body within you wants to express and feel through you and experience through you, because there's a certain way that you express joy and happiness that is unique unto you. And God wants to experience that with you, because it's a treasure. Wow. It's a treasure, and it can't be felt or copied or experienced through anybody else, because it would be a different treasure, it'd be a different gem, it would be different in its own beautiful way, and it would not take away from yours or you take away from theirs. It's just another beautifulness that's just added. And if you can feel that about yourself and know that about yourself, then maybe that's what will help you to figure out, okay, I can't see the changes yet, but I know that they're here because I've seen this other stuff. Because I know this other stuff. Because I felt this. I'm not feeling it now, but I felt this in the past, in my recent past, or just an hour ago, or minutes ago, or whatever. I still get thrown around in my bed. So I know that I'm still hitting and making realizations that mean something, that are creating something. And I know that as I speak, not only am I magnetized, but the things that I seek are magnetized and pulling me to them. I am being manifested, and I'm aware of that. There's few houses that want me. There's experiences that want to develop and be enjoyed and expressed and witnessed by me. The experience wants to happen specifically for me, right? So if that's happening for me, that's happening for you too. And in the past, and even up until right now, that's what we've been able to do unconsciously. Now we're just doing it consciously. Now we're doing it with our minds set on it. Now we're doing it mindfully. Now we're doing it knowing that it's going to happen. Now we're doing it knowing that it's going to be better. We just have to get in the flow. We just have to show up, right? Show up and let it happen, and just be grateful for it, and know that the best is always working out for us. 44:19, awesome. 44:22, but 44:19, wonder what that's all about. Why I would do that. Anyway, it's got to mean something. Love you, love you, love you, Michi. I love this. 44:40. Oh, look, 44:44. Even better. But, yeah, so all that's good. So don't be so hasty to look back and move backwards. Sometimes, if you can't, if it's difficult or whatever, just sit in the knowing that I know. It's like if you were a little child and something has scared you and you just close your eyes and you're like, when I open my eyes, the monsters are gone, the monsters are gone, the monsters are gone. And when you wake, so then when you do, you're like, oh yeah, look, monster's gone, it's all good, it's a new day, everything's gonna go better today, blah blah blah. It's that mentality. So just wait. Use the cleats to keep you, the little things that show up in your news feed, in your scrolling, that shows you, hey, things have changed and this is coming towards you, and everything, new content creator, new messages about love, and or new messages about travel, or new messages about hydroponics, whatever you're interested in. I'm also interested in hydroponics, so I get a lot of messages about that, and being able to grow my own food, I want to know about that. So I get a lot of messages about that, which means I'm going to have that opportunity to make that a real thing for me. And because of that, then I'm saving messages so that when that time comes, I already have the info of who I'm going to go to find out what they did and recreate it in my life and in my property and stuff like that. So that's how. I hope this helped you. I know it helped me. I was able to move through some stuff. So thank you for being with me and helping me through all this and everything. I appreciate you being with me. And as far as all the other stuff, yeah, there's no need to reach out or anything like that. No, because as far as I'm concerned, if we're not in alignment vibrationally because you haven't done your work, we're just no. I trust your path. I trust your path. I trust your path. Whatever path you're on, wherever you are, you will get wherever you need to be, doing whatever you need to be doing, experiencing what you need to experience. I try to help out in that regard, but if if you don't want to do the work and work through your shadow, work through whatever, then it's not me that's gonna help you through that. It's not me gonna grant passage through that. No, I've reached the point people need to do their own work, do whatever for themselves, help themselves. Yeah, yep. That's what I said, and I meant it, right? And that's where we are. That's where we are. That's where we've been. So, love, 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 love. Thank you, Divine Union. Thank you, Divine Source. Thank you, Divine Creator, for being with me, for showing me, for loving me, for talking to me, for having me, all this stuff that's come up and out, because it's in my heart to want to help people to understand the awakening that's going on within, and to help manage the thought process and working your way through it without getting confused, without getting overwhelmed, without getting lost, without cracking, but just moving forward in a supportive and loving and informational way, and orderly, divine ordered way, divinely supported. People, you gotta know who you can call on. You call on your vibrational tribe. You're not doing this alone. In your vibrational tribe is the higher you, is the friends that really truly support and love you, is the ascended masters that want the best for all of the beings, and humanity is the God status, the God light, your God status, God light, um, is, it's just everything, plasma, everything, friends, family, ascended masters, ancestors, elements, just everything. So, trust in your process, work through it. You'll get where you need to be. And even if you don't make it up to 5D right now, that's okay. 4D is pretty fucking cool, right? Because in 4D, you're still making magic, you're still manifesting, you're still calling in stuff, and it's still better. You still participate in the goodness that's being created, with President Trump and everything. You're still gonna, participate in that realm. It gets you out of the 3D, helps you, you're still gonna reap the rewards of no more tyranny, of no more oppression, of no more wickedness, of no more of SRA, that too. None of that bullshit, and you'll get your cathartic release knowing that, evil has been taken care of. It's not moving forward. It's done and over with and eliminated and, um, disappeared, dissolved, nothinged in this realm, because evil's not moving forward. Evil's not going anywhere. No, we're not. It's not being rewritten anywhere and stuff. And that's kind of what was trying to happen, is somebody was trying to write under somebody else's cover, right in on my world, and I caught it. And I'm like, no, this isn't right. But the thing is, I didn't just catch that it was, the person that they were using. I caught even deeper that they were being used. Because there isn't any reason that the person that they chose would do this to me. There isn't. I've never ever felt that the person that they used to fuck with me in my dream state has ever felt anything but true friendship and true goodness and kindness. And so because of that, I know that that was a glamour, that was a mimic, that was, not him, that was somebody trying to write and use his likeness and stuff. So I saw through that bullshit and I shut it down. Yeah, 5306 now. I saw it when it was 5303. But so yeah. Now for that, I don't know how others are going to be able to pick up on that. I've been at this a while, and I went deeper, and I've cleared a lot, so that's why I was able to. Are you able to do this? I don't know. Maybe yes, maybe no. I don't know. It's kind of 5335. Ooh, that was mirrored. It's just interesting. It just depends. But you'll know for yourself, so you'll be able to answer that for yourself. That's all I can say. I don't have all the answers. You have all the answers for you. I can only share with what I've experienced and what I know to be truth in my personal journey. How it differs for you is based on your own personal experiences, your own personal beliefs, big beliefs that you're aware of because they're right here, or beliefs that you're not aware of because they're way back here and you don't know that they're there, right? So so yeah, anyway. Whew. That was just like a whole lot of blah that just came out, which means like this really needed to come up and out. That's the only thing I can think of. It really needed to, all of it just kind of, because it's like I was conscious doing it, but not conscious, fully conscious of what it was gonna be said. It just came tumbling out of me. And then when somebody was trying to stop it, and then I had to turn on my thing, that's also very telling. And I just blessed myself, because the blue light and everything in the heat, it always feels good, always makes me feel good. And there's a crystal in there, so it activates the crystal and blows all that, crystal energy, and and then the crystal energy being blown on me. And there are different settings. You don't always have to do hot. There's a cool setting too, but and then with that crystal energy being blown, and then with my intention, that I only know good things, and then through my crown, through my pineal gland, I only see, I only smell good things, and I'm aware of good things, because this helps you to be aware of things. You taste, you speak, you command, and your throat also, supports good things and stuff. So this is also, and this is a portal, as you speak things into reality. This is a portal. And then not only that, but at the other end for us, ladies, our other set of lips is another portal, connected to where we create life and everything. But this everybody has, so they're able to create life through here. But yeah. And then of course, I only feel good things, and that's me in reference to my high heart and my regular heart chakra. High heart is the God heart that we carry within us, and then the heart chakra, and then of course I only create good things, your sacral or your solar plexus chakra. I am only goodness and love, and radiate. That is your sacral. And then your root chakra, at the base, which encompasses everything, from your tailbone, all the way down to, the bottoms of your feet. That's how I see it. Root chakra, that's what keeps you grounded. I am only grounded into good things and stuff, which means only good things can come up and out. Only goodness can come up and out through me, and only goodness can grow and prosper through me, because that's all I allow. That's all I want. That's all I want for myself. That's all I want for anybody else. Goodness. Now, how it comes in their world, I don't dictate that. It's like I send like a gift certificate of love to them, and they use it however they want to use it, That's a whole nother video right there. Love you, love you, love you. Bye.